Hi, it's David here with Futures Trading. I am a trend trader, so I want to talk to you about what is CHOP. All right, so we're going to talk about CHOP, and I'll outline to you what that trend is. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. All right, so there's a community of traders here, or people that's interested in trading. I got subscribers and followers on TikTok, and so we welcome you all together collectively. We thank you for stopping by. Hopefully, you'll join the community. So I want to give you some easy information that you can retain and profit from, right away, immediately. All right. And that's really important for me to do that. I'm an educator, again, been doing this for some time. And when I ran my site online, of course, I was telling people what the trend was. And it's important that you know that. So I'm gonna just do it this way now because I don't want a job. All right. So I want to do this for free. All right, just free, just for free, free, free. All right. So here we go. What is a trend? You can find that information right in here, and I'll touch on it just a little bit here. I got a universal price action method to match this trend. They both going to show up in any winning trade. I can assure you that. And I use the candlesticks. I don't use trend lines. I don't use no moving average to find what the trend is. That's not professional in no way. So don't need all of that to know what the trend is. And I'm gonna tell you what chop is because that's what this video is all about. So here's the trading guide section. If you need any kind of information, you can probably find a good foundation here. I tried to release at least 3 patterns to you that you can probably find. Uh, Here's a location that you will want to get once you know what the trend is, because the trend is going to happen around this location more often than not. And there's a reason why I picked these times. Very, very important. I actually gave you 3 ways to approach the market. One is time based, one is price based, and then of course one is using your price scale. So there's kind of 3 ways to find turning points in the market in 18 minutes. And then of course there's that universal price action method. And again, you can find that information with the universal trend and the universal price action method there. And if you're winning, it's this. Now let's talk about that chop. All right, so trend and chop. Let's go over the trend first, then we're gonna hit that chop. We'll do it like that. We're gonna do the trend first because I'm all about trend. So trend is 7 bars. Here you go. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, and there's 7. So I want to make sure that this video is clearly short. I don't want it to be long. Let's kind of slide that over there. And so because it's not in the how long I elaborate on the topic, whether or not the information will work. Okay. So most people pair the two together, that they think if you give a long explanation about something that makes whatever it is that you're talking about important. And I don't think so. I actually think it's the opposite. If you're able to get the trend going, it can go the trend distance. All right. So because people struggle with this for a long time, they think long explanations make for why you should believe what they're saying. I don't do that. I found it to be the opposite. So if I can give it to you in a very simple manner, you'll start to understand that the potential is there. So usually they'll come halfway back into the trend before they give you the trend distance. Now they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do that. So they gave it here. They gave it here. You can assume that they wanted to and try it. That's all you can do. Now let's see if they have a trend down. One, I don't think so. Two, remember, it got to be at a glance. Two, three, 4, 5. No, they don't have a trend down. Just at a glance, you should be able to look at the chart and just give an eye to it and say there's a chance that that's not the trend. All right, so they don't have that yet, so they can still go up. So let's see if they'll get back up here. And clearly, if they get up here, they're going to our ranges. That's how it works. All right, now really simple stuff. Now I do believe this market is definitely bearish. I'm not blind, but we can't ignore on this time frame. We're not doing any other time frame. We can't ignore on this time frame what it's doing. So right now it's trying to go up. So here's that universal approach here to the candles. We just did the trend. That's the universal approach. And again, it doesn't matter what you're trading. I'm trying to do this within 10 minutes so it can fit right on TikTok. And then, of course, to prove to you, it's not in long explanations whether or not the validity of something is actually stated. It's yeah, whether or not you can understand it and hurry up and spot it if it's there, because it has to be proven. And so if I can prove to you something within minutes, yeah, that should save you time because it's an allotted portion at your disposal, suitable for a purpose by definition. So here's the mid above this bar's high. Here's this bar's mid below this bar's low. Now, do you have to wait until the bar closed? That's what, some people would assume. No, you can just gauge it and see if that bar's mid is starting to trade above that high, trade below that low, that's a potential for it to run. All right. So just get in it. Now, I like to go with the hard stop, as you should. You got to have somewhere to put your stop. Okay. And then here's the optimal way to get it to really give you what you want. If they don't close back beneath that bar, if they don't close back beneath that bar, that'll be great. Now here's the chop. Chop is really simple. And I'm gonna tell it to you right now. You don't need 30 bars, 50 bars. You don't need all that stuff to draw a bunch of lines on top and on the bottom to see if you're in a range. Complete unprofessional behavior. I don't have it, the tolerance nor the patience to sit here and wait to see, now I don't know, 150 bars form some top and some bottom to say the market is not trending, because it's always in a trend. It's just, how do you want to enter it? And so if it's giving you the trend extremes, be on the extremes. That's all. And so now, how do you know it's chopping? Because you can find that kind of information kind of sitting in here. You can find that information kind of sitting in there. You can find this information kind of sitting here. And it's the opposite of what I just explained here. It's when the mid of the candle, all in 10 minutes, when the mid of the candle, when the mid of the candle, this one right here gets, or let's say this one, when this mid falls into this candle, and you can know that this is happening before this candle finished. You can look at the clock and say, hey, the clock is ticking out, and it's a chance that that mid will not be outside the bar's high or low. The moment that you see that mid falling into this bar, now I know I'm just a little bit above. Once you see that that's happening, let's give it a little bit more on top. Once you see that that's happening, you're being chopped. It's just in a smaller time frame. It's ranging, even though it can climb a little bit more. And if you notice, and this is another price action method that I put out, you want to see if you can get two closes above the bar's highs and or lows. It just depends on which way you want to go. Two consecutive closes, they don't have to be bullish or bearish. They just need to be two above the bar's high. Okay, so that's something that can help you too. But if that mid fall into that prior candle, if that mid fall into that prior candle, you're in chop. Okay, you're being chopped around. All right, and there's a count to this. It is a count. That's why it struggles and act like it doesn't want to get on its way, even though it's climbing. Even though it's climbing, you see, they're starting to, throw those mids inside of the prior bar. And so that's a little bit of information to kind of help you along. When you see that where they're willing to do that back and forth, now this NC is for this bar, remember that. So this is that back and forth, even though it moved up a bit more. Notice on the pivot, because you remember from here to here, that's a candle. Okay, you can do that. So they poked their head above that candle and then came back into it. Okay, so they're overlapping the mids. All right, so that's chop. All right, just wanted to explain that to you. Hopefully you found it of some use, and I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.